Good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome to Berringer. And this is the big Berringer redevelopment project, and this is part 2. And it's just to basically give you a bit of a progress report, really. Just to let you know, all is well, and things are going really, really well. I'm really impressed with what's been done, and I will take you through some of the changes. As you can see, my Arriva Trains Class 150 is sitting on platform number 1, and it's on the branch, and the branch is actually running and working, which is fantastic. I've been testing it today, and it seems to be running really, really well. I won't be doing any running on this just yet because it's still needing work, but it is running. It's the only bit that is running, mind you, and I'll take you through what's actually been done so far on the layout. If I'm going to firstly work my way down, the first thing you may notice, or you might not notice, is that just where my finger is on the left here, there used to be like a cutting, and this is where the lamp used to be, and it used to feed into a really sort of section two points, which basically it was really complicated and it was really, really ugly looking, and it wasn't particularly reliable. What I've now done is I've basically straightened this whole thing out so it's all level all the way down, and basically this has now allowed me to now put in a passing loop. So if we work our way down, I've just basically started to make some new platform lengths. Like I said I was going to do, I'm going to actually extend the platform all the way to the end, sort of to the bridge, which is what I've done. And now we've added this passing loop. So far I'm just operating it manually. I haven't electrified it yet, but I'm just doing it manually. And the reason I was toying with the idea of leaving it and not to make it too cluttered, and I was toying with putting maybe like a little mini embankment along here, but what I thought was that if I put a passing loop in here, it'd be really, really useful, because then I could use it to run round trains, run round freight that will come into either the depot or up the top there. But yeah, at the top at New Shot there is got its own passing loop, so it'd be quite handy to have a passing loop for the depot here and the fueling point, where the trains could basically bring the freight in along the passing loop and basically run round the freight, and then either use the O8 to put it in or to basically reverse it in by going and using this loop here, this point here. This point has also been got a hole in it and ready for a point motor, which I haven't fitted as yet. The platform isn't going to go as far as I'd hoped, because of the nature of the incline here. As you can see, it's kind of like got this little step thing along here, and the gradient is very, very shallow. It's very, very soft, which is really nice because of the dip on the other end of the layout. I've had to raise it anyway so I can level out the other end of the layout, which is what I've done, and by doing that I've basically lessened the gradient along here. And basically underneath, the curve is actually a really shallow curve, so it's not very tight under here at all, which is really good. But it's just going to make life a bit difficult for me in order to put the platforms in. But this is how it is, and I'm perfectly happy with this. This is fine. Ultimately this all works, it's been tested. As you can see, there is 3 lines there. The outer one is to come down onto platform number 3, the middle one's for platform 2, and the nearest one to us is the branch. Also, like I've said, which is what I've been doing today really, is I've been putting the pillars in, the supports, painted them all up, and also painted up the board in a matte black, and basically just to keep it as dark as possible under here, and it's all opened out, and basically I can get to the points using my hands underneath if there's any failures, and the same with that one. I've positioned the supports in such a way that I can get to the points, even with the roof, even with the town scene on top fitted, so I shouldn't have to lift it or anything like that. And what I'll be doing is I'll be putting some lighting under here as well anyway, just to give it that kind of atmospheric type of look. But basically, like I said before, this will be sort of enclosed in some acrylic and some nice fascia board down the bottom here, just to make it really look nice under here. And this is basically the sum of where I've been doing the work, is trying to get the point work right down the end there. There's one right at the back, which is what feeds it in, like I showed you the other day, and then that comes into 3. And it's coming along really, really well. The supports that were there are now here, and they're now being used as platforms, and they need to be screwed down and battened down, and then I'm going to have to apply the matchsticks along the side, and then I'm going to get some paint to then marry it all up, and basically also fill in the joints between the 2 platforms as well. So that's more work I've got to do, but I know where it's all going, so I'm really pleased. And it's the same for this. I did the same here. It was the support from the other end, from underneath the town scene, and then what I've done to create the ramp was just get a bit of card, and are we going to focus or not? I don't think my camera's focusing. Oh, here we go. Right, so as I was saying, so basically I've got some card, basically pinned it to the end of the straight wood, scored the card so to give it the ramp, and then basically score the other end of the card, and then basically turned it back on itself, and then basically pinned it to the underneath, and that gave the ramp effect. And that was a very quick, easy thing without sanding wood and all the rest of it, and doing guesswork as well. So I'm really, really pleased with that. I've taken this back as well, because originally there was still some scenery here. Like I said, I was going to leave it just as a straight single track all the way down, but I just thought if I add the passing loop, I think it would give me more scope for operational purposes, and make it even more enjoyable with the shunting manoeuvres that I can perform along here. And that will also take the shunting manoeuvres away from the actual branch line itself, in terms of having to bypass the point and actually leave it on the actual main branch line, and then sort of block off the main branch line. At least this way they can use the passing loop and do the work here on the passing loop. This side has also been levelled out as well, so this is all now level where it wasn't before, and this is where we had the dip when I used to do the filming, and it used to come up, so we haven't got that dip anymore. That's been levelled out, which is one of the reasons why the gradient at the far end is actually nowhere near as steep as it was going to be, because of the fact that by levelling this out, it's basically had to raise the other end up, which has meant that the actual gradient on the other end is not as steep. And then hopefully by tomorrow I'll have this line nearest to us also electrified and working. That's kind of like, and I think I could probably get away with doing that and run that, so I can actually have trains running again tomorrow hopefully, and then we'll see how we do a bit of test running to see how that's all going to pan out. I mean, as you can see just where my coach is, obviously the buffer stopped there because of the gradient. I've got to do the work on the other side, and raise the platform on the other side up as well, so there is still some juggling to do, but I know what I'm doing and where it's all going and all the rest of it. I had been toying with the idea of, because this platform building here, which I made, which I love, is like synonymous with Berringer, and I didn't really want to lose it, and I'm not going to, as I said. The only issue with it is that it was actually attached directly to the platform, so I've had to use this platform as well as the building. I couldn't take the building off, which is fine because it's kept the integrity of the building together, but what it has meant is that the ends that I couldn't use, it's why I've had to kind of butcher the ends and create new ends. By creating new ends, it's going to allow me to basically extend the platform out and curve it around here, so that's what's going to happen. But it'll just be a curved all the way up to here, and I think I'm still going to get about 6 coaches in length, plus the loco, which I couldn't do before, plus the fact that I gained the fact that whereas before when I had the terminus I'd have to have a loco at this end and then I'd have to have a loco at the other end, and that obviously takes up space for a coach. But by the fact that it's now a through station, that you're just basically replacing the space of a loco with another coach. So hopefully I should still be able to fit about 6 coaches along here, and the matchsticks will probably be out very shortly, because basically I'm going to rebuild the platforms in the same way as I'd rebuilt them originally, and then over on the file platforms over there's a couple that I've gone awry, which I'll have to sort of put back together. But I've kept the old ones that were here, I've kept them, so I'm just going to sort of pinch the ends off and basically glue them on straight across. So that should be another tedious job. I remember the first time around doing it, how tedious it was to put matchsticks on the end of MDF. But hey ho, this is railway modelling for you. But I do prefer this look and this layout much more like this. To actually have the through station, I think, is going to work out so much better than what I was having it before. I'm going to get far more use out of it far more use than I used to, because it just didn't make any sense before. And I know it's a lot of butchering and there's a lot of a lot of hassle involved. But to be truthful with you, when I took the time off work, I knew this was going to be a big job, and I didn't really have much thing planned. So I just thought it's just a good way of just getting on with it. I've got the time to do it rather than trying to, I don't like seeing it like this for too long. So hopefully it won't look like this for very long. And then once I think this track here, once this is connected, if I take you down the other end, down to this side, then we can start thinking about doing the back here. And basically I'll have to do what I've done here along the front here, basically remove all the gravel, all the ballast and everything like that, completely remove it, and then basically do the same thing again all the way down to the end. And once that end is done, that is the majority of the work that's going to be, in terms of ballasting and all the rest of it, done. And hopefully overall there'll just be better reliable running. So thanks for watching. Feel free to comment and subscribe as always. I will leave you with a last shot, if my camera can focus, of my platform building and my Arriva trains Class 150. And I'm really pleased, I have to say. I know it looks a bit of a state at the minute, but I've got these visions in my head of how it's going to turn out, and this is exactly how I was thinking of doing it. I wasn't sure at first about doing the passing loop, or whether it was going to be possible to do it, but by the fact that I've actually taken the lamp out from here and actually straightened this out so it doesn't come in like that and then go back out, it's allowed me to just put a nice straight passing loop, which is going to give some right up front and close up and personal shunting manoeuvres that I can do. And also what I'm also thinking of doing is, if I have the time, is rebuilding the the panel. I mean, I have to redo it anyway now because of the track changes, but I might rebuild another one that I can have it right on the front here, so I can actually sort of stand like that and really sort of hands on down at this end. So yeah, I mean, I've got the wood to do it and everything like that, and I've got the time to do it. It's whether or not I have the inclination to do it. So anyway, take care, thanks for watching. Please feel free to comment and subscribe, and stay with me for part 3 of the big Berringer redevelopment project, which will be up whenever. Bye for now.